Hello, and welcome to this episode of Frankie's Cultural Observations. Today, we're going to be analysing Gen X. Gen X are known as the lost generation because they spent their childhood getting left behind in supermarkets when their parents were forgetting that they exist. Gen X had to develop a thick skin as well as a strong set of lungs to protect themselves from suffocating on second-hand smoke whenever their dad would light up a cigarette in the car and refuse to roll the windows down. Gen X are old enough to remember life before the internet and confused enough to not really know how to use it properly. Despite their general distrust of authority figures, when it comes to differentiating the good from bad information they find online, their spam folder is disabled, meaning that Gen X are susceptible to any and all conspiracy theories. On today's menu, how the fluoride in the water is secretly turning their child's brain into toothpaste. A thesis that they wholeheartedly agree with because someone made an Instagram reel about it, so obviously it's true. Gen X are skeptical of legitimate medical advice, but they'll take any homeopathic remedy that was grown in a bathtub because Sandra, who sells them crystals on Facebook, told them that it cured her back fungus. Therefore, Gen X's defining characteristic is one of gullible paranoia. Gen X think they're tough. They believe wearing sunscreen is a sign of weakness and they eat snowflakes for breakfast. Gen X will only open up about their rough upbringing when they're trying to tell younger generations to grow up and work harder, saying things like, "I got locked in a broom cupboard and set on fire for an entire summer. What's your excuse, cupcake?" Gen X are resilient. They're like cats. They have 9 lives and seem indestructible no matter how many times you try to stick them in the blender. Gen Xers have gaslit themselves into thinking they had it easy growing up because they only ever got kidnapped by a man in a white van twice. After everything they've been through, Gen X have become imperishable, much like the tinned food they bought to stockpile in their doomsday bunker. Therefore, Gen X are just taking life day by day at this point because they really thought the world was going to end at the turn of the millennium. Gen X had to become full-time adults by the age of 12. If they didn't learn how to cook spaghetti bolognese while they were still in nappies, there's a good chance that they would have died of hunger before graduating from primary school. Gen X's high levels of independence became fused with their general lack of enthusiasm towards life, meaning they learnt all these valuable skills at a young age and then weren't bothered passing them on to their Gen Z children. Interestingly, Gen X are the mirror image of Gen Z. Gen Z are just Gen X, with lower levels of childhood trauma and a greater grasp of TikTok. Although, unlike younger generations, Gen X nihilism isn't performative, it's authentic. Spending your formative years dodging flying dinner plates would make a cynic out of anyone. Why is there a car doing that? Here, look, follow that.
That's Gen X.